Well, next we head to Wartrace to explore a family guitar making tradition. Gallagher Guitars are respected by musicians all over the country, but as Teresa Bush discovered, part of the success of the company is the family pride and harmony that's been passed down.
Downtown Wartrace is normally pretty quiet. The only sound you might hear is music from inside the Gallagher Guitar Company. It's a family business. They've been crafting high-end custom acoustic guitars since 1965.
Got the latest and greatest.
The facility the Gallaghers prefer to call a shop is housed inside two Main Street buildings.
The shop's been here a long time. The town burnt down in the early 20s, and my grandfather helped build the bricks for these buildings.
Don Gallagher runs the shop these days. He's the son of the founder, J.W. Gallagher, who passed away in 1979. Don apprenticed under his father through his late teens, went away to college, and then returned to Wartrace in 1975 to carry on the family tradition.
My father would be the first to say he was really no business person, he was a craftsman, and I'm afraid I'm more like that too. I'm doing something because I enjoy doing it. The fact that other people like it and appreciate it, it just makes it all worthwhile.
Everything it takes to make a Gallagher guitar, except the strings and metal pieces, is done here. It's a small operation. 4 men build the guitars: Don, his son Stephen, Tom Fuss, and Mike Howell. Don's mother, Hazel, runs the office. It's something she's done since day one.
It's always been a small shop. That's the way we've liked to keep it, with a very personal touch.
The guys at Gallagher Guitar make 5 basic body types, and each is customized. From the type of exotic wood used, to the detailed and very labor-intensive inlays, to the type and color of the finish. You could say a Gallagher guitar is a playable work of art.
It's kind of an esoteric group of people that we deal with, you know, musicians, even though Gallagher guitars are not well known, you know, throughout, you know, like a general name, but yet within certain circles, it's very well known.
That group is made up of flat-picking guitarists like Doc Watson, who single-handedly put Gallagher Guitars on the map back in 1968 when he purchased a G50 model.
Doc and my father just hit it off. Their personalities just really matched, I think. And both, you know, just country boys basically had that background, and so they really connected.
Doc played that guitar until 1974. After that, it was featured in the Country Music Hall of Fame. And now it's the centerpiece of the Gallagher Guitar lobby. It's been right here since 2008.
It is such an important part of our history that I really ought to go ahead and get it and put it on display here at the shop, which is what we've done.
J.W. didn't set out to make guitars for famous people like Doc Watson or for himself. In fact, J.W. couldn't even play a guitar. His love was with woodworking. Beginning in 1939, J.W. supported his family by designing and building fine furniture in a shop at his home on the outskirts of Wartrace.
My father was very talented and very gifted mechanically. It takes that kind of mechanical aptitude to be able to visualize and make things. And the furniture, I mean, he just learned himself.
J.W.'s furniture making skills became well known throughout Bedford County. So when a guitar company opened up in nearby Shelbyville, executives recruited him to set up their operations.
Guitar making is basically woodworking with acoustical considerations thrown in.
While J.W. appreciated their confidence and a steady income, the job was not fulfilling his creative side.
He was used to making really nice quality furniture out of walnut or cherry primarily. And they wanted to make kind of a student line of instruments out of plywood. So that just wasn't satisfying his needs as a craftsman. So In May of '65, he left there and came back here and started making his own guitar.
The woodworking techniques J.W. used haven't changed much since the beginning. Many pieces of equipment that belong to him are still in operation today. This ledger also belonged to J.W., and you can bet it's still being used today. It is fascinating to see the entries, which include the name and address of every person who's purchased a Gallagher guitar. Folks from Saudi Arabia, Japan, Canada, Australia, and from most every state in America. The Gallaghers use the ledger when someone is seeking the history of their guitar, like the serial number and when it was made. Stephen's name will soon be added to that ledger when he finally decides what all he wants on his Gallagher guitar. After all, Stephen will one day not only be the face of the company his grandfather founded, he will also be the sound of the company. You see, Stephen is the first Gallagher to learn to play the instrument. And be prepared, you may walk in to an impromptu jam session, led by Stephen, of course.
Stephen is doing more going out and playing at places. I'm trying to get him to go in and doing more workshops, at music stores and that sort of thing, because he's very good at that. And then I'm more good at the design and the structuring of things and the building process. It makes a nice little combination. It's very rewarding knowing that process is going to be hopefully carried on. I think that right now that's one of the real assets of the business. Not only do we have a great history, but it looks like we have a good future.